Hi everybody, welcome to my Module 10 case study for EDL 853. Okay, first I want to provide you with an outline. It not only helps me to lay it all out, but I also hope to provide you with a roadmap over the topics that I'll be discussing today. So first I want to start out with the case and facts, moving on to legal and or ethical issues. I want to follow up with what has happened, another review of the facts, going over the information, moving on to options and consequences. I'm going to weigh out my options, and then I was posed with a few questions that I want to go over, and then finally I'll be ending with my choice and then how my presentation connects to the standards selected. So first, the case and the facts. A student, Miguel, is being moved from his current biology class, which is on a second-story level, to a science class that will be accessible by wheelchair. Miguel was injured during a high school football game several weeks back, leaving him paralyzed from the waist down. The counselor, Ms. Gussman, has changed Miguel's science course, the one that is physically easily accessible to him. These events, I just want to kind of state, seem to have come across in a way that almost seems quick and unorganized from my perspective without taking into account how Miguel may have been feeling during the situation. I am concerned with how easily it is to change a student's schedule without contacting teachers, administration, and the parents. Some people who are involved in this situation are Miguel himself and then his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Hernandez, Ms. Gussman, again the counselor, and then myself. The principal. The people who are concerned about the situation are going to be Miguel and his parents, and I am definitely concerned about the situation. As the principal, I am here to ensure that my students have access to a school environment that is inclusive and fair for all, and I want to be included in the decisions that affect student learning or change their academic course. So section 2, legal and or ethical issues. Number 1, has anyone been harmed by the action or decision of another, and if so, in what way? And I just want to point out that yes, there was physical harm earlier in this school year that has actually led us to this point when Miguel was injured during a high school football game. And I do believe that his academic success will be directly affected by the decision that we make to change his course schedule around. Question number 2, does the action or the situation contravene an existing law? The action of changing Miguel's course schedule due to accessibility issues to the second floor of our school does contravene an existing law with the Americans with Disabilities Act. Was there a breach of contract? Were the actions discriminatory or constituted harassment? I truly don't believe that harassment has taken place, and I would really just like to give the benefit of the doubt, and I just think that this decision was made quickly and without planning. I don't think that it was planned to purposely execute a hurtful scenario for Miguel and for his family. Again, I just want to state that I think it was just, hey, this is a problem, quick, let's fix it like this, without thinking all the way through. Miguel's science class has been changed due to the inaccessibility to the biology room. Again, that's on the second floor of our high school building, so it's not able for a student in a wheelchair to get access to. The facts. So people that are directly involved: Ms. Gussman, the counselor, Mrs. Deskey, myself, the principal, Miguel, who is a student, Mr. and Mrs. Hernandez, his parents, Howard Carey, which is Miguel's attorney. I believe that all students at Nottingham High School are going to be affected by this, and I believe that families in the Dover Unified School District are going to be affected by this, and here's why. This is a community that really rallies behind the school and the students. There's a lot of community involvement and support and parent volunteers, and so you cannot help but include them as people that are going to be affected by the outcome of this scenario, as it very well could be their sister, brother, friend, niece, nephew, or grandchild that's going through a similar situation sometime down the future. Like, we hope that that never happens, obviously, but, children aren't invincible. We're not invincible. And so it could very easily be a member of their family next time. And so I really want us to make sure that the decisions that we're making are going to be decisions that continue to uphold our favorability within the community, and that we continue to be a school district that is identified as outstanding. So now more about the place. So this is within Dover Unified School District. The specific high school is Nottingham High School. This district serves 3,200 students. There are 6 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, and then 1 high school. It was constructed in the early 1950s, and so 1/4 of the building does not meet state and federal standards to accommodate individuals with disabilities. They have done remodeling to the rest of the 75% of the building, but we're still lacking that 1/4 of meeting those standards. Program. We are a public school. We serve K through 12 district wide. Again, we have quite a few students that we serve. Because we are a public school, we do have special education services. The specific curriculum that we are discussing with this specific scenario would be science with emphasis in biology, of course. And then Miguel is a sophomore, so that puts him in 10th grade. The information. So again, I was posed with a couple of questions, and by asking myself those questions, I'm able to answer them and then identify, is this really helping, hurting? Is this a true issue? That's just how my brain works. So first question, could the conflict, the situation, or the decision be damaging to stakeholders or to the community? Big yes here. Again, for reasons I just stated before. Next time it could be somebody of their family, and how we handle this says a lot about our school's character, as well as the character of the people who are making the decisions as well. Question number 2, what individuals and groups have an important stake in this outcome? The Hernandezes, of course, Miss Gussman, the counselor, myself, Nottingham High School, Dover School District, the superintendent, Board of Education members, the community, the students, and the staff. We all have a lot at stake here because this is going to be a direct reflection of our school and our community and our district. Not only locally, but people around the state are going to know about this. Question 3, have all the relevant stakeholders been consulted? No, I need to have a meeting with the superintendent as well as the Board of Education to make sure that everybody is hearing this firsthand and not, through the grapevine. That could be very detrimental to our school and the situation at hand. Question number 4, can I learn more about the situation? Of course, I do think that there is a lot more that I could learn about this situation. I really need to have a conversation with Miss Gussman herself. I kind of want to get her backstory and get information from her about what led to these changes and kind of how she came about it. But with the pressing time, I do feel like this is a very time-sensitive problem, and I want to make sure that I'm addressing it full circle, but also in a timely manner. And then question number 5, do I know enough to make a decision? I do think that with the information that I have been presented to me, there is more to learn, but I do have enough to start making some of those preliminary decisions that would be, quick fixes or opportunities to buy us some more time in order to help Miguel and his family out. So let's talk about my options. The very first option I have is do nothing. I could literally just sit back and let Miguel's attorney move forward with his legalities, prepare for what we might be faced with. Who knows? They could be bluffing for all we know. Miguel really is only a sophomore, and he would have 2 more full years of school left to fulfill his biology course. I'm not sure why it's so specific that he gets it done his sophomore year. So I have a second option also. I could move the biology classroom to an accessible location within our building. Just visit with his biology teacher, let him know what's going on. Hey, let's get you moved to a different location. This would take quite a bit of work during the mid-year, but this is absolutely something that could be done. My third option would be to install a stair lift to help access be granted to this part of our building. Probably not a long-term solution, but it would work for 6-7 months. My fourth option that I came up with was that Miguel could Zoom into his biology class every day. The materials could be brought to him for experiments. I am not saying that Miguel stays at home and is not in our school. I am saying that maybe he takes this to a different classroom, the lunchroom, depending on what time it is. There's, different workrooms throughout the building. He could go there, Zoom in with his class, and the teacher could bring the materials down, the school hour before. So let's talk about the pros and cons of my first option of doing nothing. Really, I don't see a lot of pros here. I mean, truthfully, it's easy for me. I'll just sit there and watch this dumpster fire happen, I suppose. But also, you know what? It could take months for this legal case to be built. And, by then school might be over. We could be into summer, and we could actually have the time to fix this problem appropriately and fix the inaccessibility issues. The cons, I come off as not caring. I'm not actively working to make our environment conducive to learning. I am discriminating against Miguel. It makes me look bad. It makes our school look bad. It makes my staff look bad. And it just extends our inaccessibility and our unwillingness to work and to make things better. I just think that there are more cons here than what I've listed, but really I can't sit here and list every single thing that would be horrible about this decision. It's going to give everybody associated with Dover Unified School District a bad rap. Option number 2, this would be moving the biology room to a more accessible place. Pros, hey, we're giving access to Miguel. There's not going to be a further legal battle. We are supporting our students. Cons, this is a lot of extra workload on the staff. I would have to find the space, or I would have to ask another teacher to switch with the biology course. And then there's learning loss because it's going to take time to get this done. You know, this is not something that can be done in an afternoon. And then it's making me have another classroom be inaccessible as well. So which one do you pick? Option number 3 here is installing the stair lift. So pros, quick fix. We gain accessibility to the last 1/4 of our school, gets us through the remainder of the school year. Teachers can stay where they're at. No need to haul materials down to Miguel in his separate area. He can get his biology credit. He gets to learn alongside his peers. And this is really creating the most normal learning environment for everybody. Cons, I'm unsure of the cost to get this done. I don't know exactly how long it would take for us to get this done, and it does take up some of the space on our stairwells, and with 3,200 students, you have lots of kids going up and down the stairs, and that stair lift would kind of decrease it by half. Half the amount of kids you'd be able to get up because of the stair lift operating. But then again, it would only be for one period of day going up and then one period of day coming back down, I guess, at the end of that period. And then I have my 4th and final option here, and this would be having Miguel find a separate place to Zoom in class. Again, quick and easy fix. He gets the biology class, has the materials, and that's pretty much it to it. Cons, I have to find the location. We have to haul the materials. He doesn't get to learn right alongside his peers, and that's extra workload for the teacher. Who's keeping an eye on Miguel during this, and can we really justify this as the best learning opportunity for Miguel? I'm not really sure if this is a great solution to the problem. It would be, again, us doing the very bare minimum without making sure that our student was getting a true and supportive, equitable, inclusive learning, but it fixes the problem. So a couple of questions that I'm going to go over, and actually I'm afraid I'm going to run out of time, so I'm going to pause and upload this, and then I will record the rest.